Put the shiesty on it.
I love you, Bobby.
Hey, V, line them up.
What's up, CBR fam? We back for another installment of the Chondro Bar Room. How y'all doing this evening?
What is going on,
We got
y'all?
here.
We back again.
We got cousin Roro. What's good, cousin Roro? Listen, Roro,
Back
my
again.
bad. I opened my message and meant to repost your thing, and I didn't realize it until I saw it this morning that it already happened. That's my bad, Roro. So get mad at me. What's up, Salad? What's up, Chris? Chris, I hit you up. Somebody's trying to get purchase from you right now.
I think I
sent you.
reposted. The Chondro corner thing.
Yeah, you probably
I
did.
did.
I forgot. So that's on me, Roro.
What up, Roll Salad Tuck? What up, CJ?
Yeah, Chris. Yeah. So somebody's
Hey,
trying to
that's
get
fishy
purchase from
business.
you, and I
Hey,
and I sent
me
it to you.
too,
Come
fishy
on, fish.
business.
Be fish. Get up out of here. Get up out of here.
Hey, we've been doing
With this
good, and
midget
lately
talk.
when this came up, it hasn't been me. So I've been behaving.
Be fish. You can't do that, man. And you know, if you keep joking, bro, I'm gonna make you get on the screen. We're gonna have Colorado chaos in here, man. I'm gonna put you on the screen.
Hey, shout out to my
cut it out. Shout out to the Oxville, man. Mine is so big. That girl is big. And she is super muscular. Okay.
They're coming up on 2, right?
I think she is already 2.
I forgot when they were.
2023. No, 20 was it 20? Yeah, it's 2023.
Damn, fish. When were those oxygen? When they had chopped?
2023.
23.
It was 2023. It was it was definitely
2022, like right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It was 2023.
Yeah, she up there. My animal, that motherfucker. January 6th, 20. Okay, so they just kind of were 2. Okay.
Yeah, 2023.
My slate, bro. She is an asshole when she's in her cage. If I go near the cage, she's like, and she don't start eating. She eat anything.
Mine, she not like that, bro. I had to slow her down because she was getting big. I was just like, you're not gonna eat.
Same. Yeah, they eat anything, bro.
You're not going. We're not doing this.
She ready to eat.
Yeah. So we're not doing this. All right, y'all. So I guess that some of y'all do know, some of y'all don't know. We are going to address some statements that was made about mostly Keno, but partially myself, about about 2 Nido positive animals. So because this shit was so widespread, I'm gonna be fully transparent and I'm gonna tell you every goddamn thing I know about this situation. I'm gonna omit every name in this chain except for one, which is the person in question about this snake, right? So with that being said, some of y'all are gonna be mad and some of y'all are gonna talk shit. But because I personally know that there was a whole bunch of conversations going on about this that I didn't know about and Keno didn't know about until Saturday. I found out about it on Sunday. We're gonna tell you the truth about what we know and what is verifiable and what is not verifiable. Okay. So
what's in black and
Adrian,
white? You say what's in black and white and what's not.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about what's in black and white because we could talk about some stuff that was in conversations that were had offline, which I never had a conversation that was through voice, and Keno never had a conversation through voice. But we do know some things, right? So a guy named Adrian, who's been on this show before, he received an animal from Keno. So the day of, Yeah. So the day of him receiving the animal died. He tested the animal. He says the animal has Nido. And that animal was originally produced by me at the tail end of 2022. And of all the animals in that clutch, none of them have had Nido. And I know several people, I know everybody who has one of those animals. I still have 3 of those animals, and none of those animals have Nido. I'm
I
gonna
still got
test.
two. I still got 2 that don't.
I'm gonna test all those animals, and I will provide the results this week. Bar none, we'll get the results back out there this week. And if anybody else want to provide your results about these animals not having Nido, then go ahead, have at it.
I just tested my collection actually in September, around the time I was breeding, and
So
I'll test my Travis animals again, specifically, because they all 3 of all the animals is right next to each other.
so with that being said, Keno and Adrian had a conversation. Keno said that he would refund him his money back in full. He said give him a month to refund him his money back in full. He's doing that. On top of that, there's things that are going on about that portion of it which simply aren't true. Now, what this individual told another individual is that Keno
Keep in
knew.
mind
Hold on,
that this animal.
hold on.
I had this
I
animal.
got.
I'm gonna stop you right there because I want you
I
to
got
keep
it.
that right there. But you got to keep in mind. I want you to keep in mind that this animal, right, that died within, let's call it 6 hours. Generously, 6 hours of it being in his house. Keep in mind that this animal been over here, I think, for about what? How long, bro?
2 years, 3 years, 2 years, 2 years.
I say almost 2 years. Because I had got the 2, and then you was like, all right, we're gonna wait. You know what I'm saying? Remember, I was like, we're gonna wait, and till we got a for sure female. Never had a problem with this animal eating, shedding. I've never had a respiratory infection in my collection. None of my main animals have never tested for Nido or none of that. So go ahead, bro. Keep on picking up.
I was getting to that point. So what came out of that is supposedly that Keno was going to give this individual a new animal from a different clutch, which Keno never said that. We have proof that he never said that. On top of that, he told an individual that I knew about this entire time. Now, what I want to say about this is those 2 things are definitely untrue. One thing that we can tell you about this is that this individual has another snake from Keno from a clutch that he did with Mikey Marsh. None of those animals have ever tested for Nido, right? None of those animals have ever tested for Nido. The only person that's in this situation that we can accurately determine has Nido in their collection is this individual. On top of that, we have a record of a conversation between Keno and this individual talking about Nido and cross-contamination. So, with all that being
No, he had a
said,
snake. No, he had a Nido positive snake in his collection.
no, that's what I just said.
Okay.
So,
All right,
with all that being said, we understand that the story they got out there, that was the first wave of it that you heard it. I know that y'all heard it in a thread, in a group chat, and we can't tell y'all what to believe, nor will we try to. The only thing that we can say about this situation is that we are not going to do anything about this situation besides what Keno has already promised to do, right? And that's it.
only thing I would say is, like I said, like I've been consistent with this. I think from day one, before we came to YouTube, is in the snake game, you got to treat people how you want to be treated. And hey, I'm gonna give him a full refund on the snake, because the snake died within 24 hours of it being there. and I'm honor that. But I'm not gonna refund that without my questions. You know what I'm saying? It's a little too circumstantial. If I don't have none of my animals from Travis, nor my animals I bred, and the people that I sold them animals to, none of them have Nido. And the person who has had his animal, his male, one of his prize male over here, 2 years. he's been in my collection for 2 years, his male. And we've done the breeding loan for 2 years, 2 separate years. He just actually came and got his male about a month, or maybe about 2 months ago. And his male done produced 3 straight years. So if he don't got night on his collection, I would think out of anybody, he probably should have it. You know what I'm saying? Because his animals been over here on basically 6 months on 2 different occasions. So you could say collectively a year through a breeding season. I took his male through the breeding season, and when his male, when the female got eventually became gravid, I didn't just tell him, "Hey, the female gravid, come get your male." I actually got his male back up to size, and then called him like, "Hey, look, I didn't got a few meals back in your male. He back on food." So I would say if this man had been in my house twice, and he didn't trust me with his prize male to come over here, and my family has been in his house, and he don't have Nido from me. I guess from that you can make your own. You can cash your own. You know what I'm saying? Aspersions and make your own. You know, accusations.
I think that's all we really gonna say about the situation.
Yeah, I think that speaks for itself.
I think that's as far as we gonna take this situation. And mind you, just realize that certain things that y'all say, I don't know what it is, but I ask people questions and they start turning into state witnesses. So they tell me the whole thing, and then they show me screenshots and they tell me all type of things about these interactions they had with you regarding this situation. And it's not hard to go back and trace it. You know, it's not hard that people are going to be honest about these things. But, you know, what I will say about this is that if you feel that what we're talking about is wrong or how we're handling is wrong, we accept that that's how you feel about it. And it's a bunch of people that I know that's in this chain that I know that knew about this last week that didn't say anything to me about it. Your opinion to me don't matter much either. And that's all I really got to say.
Shout out to the people that actually knew what was going on and hit me up like, "Hey man, what the fuck is going on with you, man? What you got going on?"
And the one person that let me know
that was Trav and Tuck. So you know what I'm saying.
The one person that let me know I love you forever. We might have our arguments, but I'm gonna love you forever, bro. But that's it. And shit, we gonna get to the show, bro, because that's what y'all really came. If you came to hear that shit, you could tune off and go beat off with some shit. But we about to get to the show, man.
Wait for the negativity. Hey, back to the serial killer's lair. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So the original CBR serial killer deemed by Keno himself is on the screen. Shout out to Mr. Dave D. Listen, Dave D.
I'm not the original.
Oh, you're not the original.
Oh,
Chris Rice is the original.
Yeah, I feel like, him or Tuck.
No, Tuck is Mrs. Scoldus.
You definitely top 3 though.
Yeah. Yeah, you should see my driver's license picture. It's horrible. About to get a new one though.
Oh, so we're gonna lose this piece of photogenic history.
Yeah.
Photographic history. So we're glad to have you, Dave. We know that you've been busy and you've been hiding out. So first of all, we want to get an update on everything that's going on. So yeah, and Keno mentioned it earlier before when we were behind screen. That he likes the way that you post one picture a month and then you just disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what he likes. Like Keno likes the whole like touch and go side of things. He likes just giving you a little bit and disappearing anyway.
Hey,
Um,
look,
so
he pull out one of them fire ass animals, take a nice picture, set up the light box, get the background right, go back to killing. I like it, bro. Got a nice routine going, Dave.
Yeah, I have my camera dialed in, so it takes me about a minute to take a picture. I don't have to take a bunch of them because it's all set up.
I feel
Really?
like Dave is so meticulous that he might be a person that might get caught up figuring out the next thing to do after the kill and get arrested at the crime scene. Like I feel like Dave might be really good at the planning phase, but like I don't think that he can be a serial killer, Keno. I think that he's probably just gonna be.
I think you underestimate Dave, bro. You see how meticulous he is with his green sheet python pairings and how he do it and how he roll it out. He keep the animals for a year, bro. I think you underestimate Dave's his superpowers.
Okay, I never heard of anybody's superpower being serial killer activities, but I guess it is 2025. There's all types of room for serial killers under the auspice of DEI, which is supposed to be going away. I mean, I guess so. But anyway, Dave, man, what you been up to, man? Let's talk about them tiger strikes.
Oh yeah, I've had 4 clutches so far this year. 2 are incubating, 2 have hatched. They're all pretty small. Some of my females are smaller. The first one laid 14 eggs and 3 slugs. I hatched 10 babies. One of them prolapsed when it had its first shed, which was pretty awesome. It hadn't even eaten before.
Damn.
Yeah, that was only my second neonate prolapse. And then
before it ate a meal, that's crazy.
Yeah, and it was a bad one. It didn't make it. That thing wasn't fit for this planet. Then I had another clutch after that, and it is blue line female I produced in 2020. She's pretty small because she was only a little over 4 years old. Bred her to a tiger stripe. Calico blue line male I produced in 2018. I don't know if you've ever seen the picture of the snake I had that ate 2 sheets of selecticized paper towel. But
yeah, I remember that was blue cocky, right?
No, that's the male that sired the second clutch I had this year.
Okay.
So I'm waiting for those babies.
I remember the animal that you said. I remember when you were on. You say it swallowed the napkin at the bottom of the cage. I remember that.
Yeah, it was only about 18 inches long, maybe 24 inches long, and it ate 2 of those little half sheets. It's crazy. And I talked to a vet, and she said, "Oh, I think it'll pass it." There's no fucking way. So I heard that Marshall had a similar problem, so I reached out to him. This was a while back, 5 years ago maybe, and he said that he was able to kind of squeeze it out like a tube of toothpaste. So my wife and I tried that. She was a trooper. She helped me, but it didn't work. But we fucked with it enough that overnight it puked it up. So it was a success. And then I have a couple more clutches incubating. Okay. One's a tiger stripe female I hatched in 2016, bred to a blue calico male. And then the other is sibling to that last tiger stripe female, bred to a male I got from John.
Okay. So when we talk about tiger stripe genetics and calicos, man, I don't know much about it, but could you tell me about it?
Hold on. That's 2016 female. That's SH11026.
No, that's a blue line female.
Okay.
That number you just rattled off. Yeah, in 2004.
I was on your site right here.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. My adult page on the website is way out of date. I'll update that sometime. But the origin of tiger stripe, Travis, in 2004, Rico bred I think it was a PNG Sarong to a Biak. And he hatched his clutch. It was mixed clutch, red and yellow. And some of the babies that were red had a lot of little black lines going down their flanks. And so that's why that was called the tiger stripe clutch. And then from that clutch, he had a holdback female who was SH04095, I believe. And she was predominantly yellow, at least for the first several years of her life. And he took that female and he got 2 clutches from her, one in 2009 and one in 2010. And I had a female from each of those clutches, but my female from the first clutch, she died a while back. I got 3 eggs from her, or 3 babies. I don't remember how many eggs she laid.
Okay.
And then the second female, the one I still have, her ID is SH10060, and she was orange for several years. There was some talk on the MVF about Rico having a chondro that never changed, and that was her. But she eventually turned a golden color, and I got her when he sold off his collection because he was dying of cancer. So I think
you're looking at it right now.
I think I've had 4 clutches from her, and
really,
yeah, and then
she's 8 years old now, sis. Well, she'll be 8 soon in February, March, April 9th.
The ones I hatched in 2016 are 8 years old. The female from Rico is 15.
Oh, she's 15. Yeah, you're right. It says 10. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. This picture must have been taken in. I'm looking at her right now. She's beautiful. This one, you talking about this one right here? The yellow diamonds?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, she's beautiful.
Okay. How many people besides you were definitely working with tiger striped animals, or was it just you?
No, there's some more out there. There's someone in Europe who has some. I've seen him on Instagram. Marshall has some. I think
Shout out to Marshall.
His came from a sibling to Rico's kind of original tiger stripe female bred to a Biak, so it's a little bit different of a line. And then I've sold quite a few. So they're out there. Rod has one. Brian has a couple males. John has one. Go ahead.
How common is it to see those the stripes get passed down through generations? And are they keeping those to adulthood?
No, none of mine have had that look. It was just that one clutch.
Okay.
Just the babies. Yeah, it's kind of funny because we call these things certain lines, but unless you inbreed, after a generation or two, they're totally different than what you started with. You know?
Yeah.
Like people talk about calicos, and sure you can chase them back to Calico Junior, but I was looking at a snake the other day. They're 1%. They're 1% calico.
Really?
Yeah, because if you go, the first generation is 50%, the next generation is 25, and you cut it in half every.
It keeps going half every time you breed it.
Yeah, unless you're inbreeding.
Unless you take it back to something else, and then you multiply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think of a calico as something that has some relationship to Calico Junior or the computer chondro, but that also has the appearance, because there's a lot of green calicos and there's a lot of green blue line stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess what I'm trying to get at with this is, I see that it's a limited amount of people that are working with it. I guess, to me, in my opinion, before seeing it, I thought that they kept the tiger stripes into adulthood, but I guess if they're losing the tiger stripes, it's just something that looks really cool.
Well, they don't even hatch with them anymore. It's just the name of the line. And
okay.
For me, I think of the line as red dominant chondros they're generally dark red as babies, and then they turn yellow or gold.
Okay. So that's something that you consistently seen from what percentage of blood from the tiger stripe offspring? Is it like 25% or higher or what?
Yeah, it's higher than that. It seems like high yellow stuff breeds truer than high blue, and high black is probably the most difficult, at least into adulthood. But you can get a lot of snakes that are black at 1 or 2 or 3 years old, but then it fades. But yeah, to answer your question, it seems pretty potent. And the other thing is, I'm not taking these snakes and breeding them to green snakes. I'm not breeding them to, a Jayapura or whatever, something totally with a totally different look. My first clutch from her, I bred to a F2, a Rubiac, and he was very gold colored. And then I bred her to a Prince Lucy male. He's pretty green.
Yeah.
That was a small clutch, but I think 2 out of 4 of those babies were gold. And then in 2022, I bred her to a Splash Biak from the Snake Keeper, and he's high yellow. And there were 14 babies, and I think all of them but one, I would say, are high yellow. And most of the ones that I kept,
Damn, really?
Yeah, I have 5 here, and they're pretty much solid yellow or orange. They're different shades.
Yeah, when it's orange.
So,
I've never seen it. I gotta see this snake eventually.
what percentage of the tiger stripe line does the orange one have in it?
What percent? I'd have to do the math, but it gets weird when you talk about these percent, because you have to start with the founder, I guess. So that would be SH04095, and then her mom was born in 2010, so that, I guess you'd say that female is 50%.
Okay.
And then her offspring would be 25. But that female that Rico used in 2010, he bred her to a crazy ass male that Greg Maxwell produced, and he is probably more of the reason why my female is so nice than the mother from Rico. So that's another thing to think about when you talk about these lines. Like, it's not all because of the one snake. Yet the other snake was badass too, probably more badass.
Well, let's talk about that, because that kind of ties into something you previously said, where you get a lot of people where they feel like they can get a powerhouse male, kind of like they do with ball pythons, and put it with any female. Like you said, referencing the Jayapura female. And they'll say, oh, well, this is so-and-so bred to the Jayapura. And how important is that for you to not only match these animals? Well, we know that you keep them separate genetically. We know how you feel about that. I remember that from the first convo. But how important is that for you to match them up phenotypically?
Very important. The last couple of years, I've done some weird shit. I bred a yellow tiger stripe female to a solid blue calico blue line male, just to see what happens. Those babies are changing now. That was the last post I made on Instagram, and it looks like that one has a lot of blue coming in, surprisingly. But generally speaking, what we're doing is selectively breeding. So you want to match similar things together. But you also have to outcross once in a while. So so you
bred that one to? I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. My fault. Go ahead, Dave.
If I did breed a blue snake, for example, to a sarong or whatever, a Jayapura, I'd hold them all back, keep the bluest one, and then I would reincorporate that into another blue snake that I had.
Wow.
Okay.
Man, this is a crazy ass parent. I was going to talk about that snake that you mentioned, how this snake is basically going straight to blue through OCC. Yeah. And what's your question? So this animal came that he's talking about here, that came from
Just send it to me and I'll put
these.
it up on the screen.
Okay, I'm gonna send it to you on Instagram.
All right.
How that animal came from with two crazy ass snakes. Make sure I send it to you. Make sure you put the animal, the parents up because, bro,
You
this is
just
one
send me.
completely blue. This is one completely blue snake and one completely yellow snake.
Hold on. Let me go and see what you said.
Go over your Instagram. What you need me to do?
I thought you had taken a picture. All right. So I'm gonna have to take a screenshot of it and then send it to myself in the email, and then open it in an email because I'm on my laptop.
Okay, my bad.
Just give me a
I
second.
should have did it before. I should have did this early, huh?
Yeah, it's fine.
What's kind of interesting is I've had some tiger stripe yearlings that have blue scales coming in, and you think they're going blue, but those scales turn yellow. I don't know if that's what's going on with this because it actually does have a blue father, but there's another
Mm.
snake on my Instagram feed where you can see blue scales coming in, and that picture was from a year and a half ago, and that snake is solid yellow now.
Which one are you talking about? Which one is that?
Here.
Which one is that, Dave?
I got to scroll.
So you saying these animals go from red? They go from red straight to blue to yellow?
Yeah, I don't know if that's what the most. So if you find the post from October 14th, 2023.
Okay. October 29th?
October 14th, 2023.
14th? Okay. Yeah, this one. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, doesn't it look like it has blue coming in?
Yeah, you would think that it was going to be like a blue calico looking animal.
Yeah, it's yellow and it has a few black scales. And I had
you sent me.
Yep, those are the parents. And this yellow female, when she was changing, she was really dark brown, reddish as a baby. And then she lightened up a little bit. She was more of a bright red color, and she started getting individual blue scales coming in. And you can see she doesn't have a single blue scale now. So it's kind of interesting how those change.
So the animals that go from red straight to blue, we call them those super blues. And then when they go from red to some green, some variation of green to blue, they're called the true blues.
Yeah.
What do you call these that are going from red to blue to yellow, like at their ending state?
I don't have a term for
But besides tiger stripe or tiger stripe and calico splash bi, what do you no tiger stripe to splash bi? What would you call these? What would you consider these?
I would just call them tiger stripes.
Okay.
To keep it simple.
Go ahead.
Man, that's crazy, Dave. Hey, go back to the animal that on the 14th. You want me to? I'll send you this one, Trav. This the one he said is all yellow.
Send it to me in an email.
In an email, okay.
Okay. It's fine. Are you still gonna get here at 12 or is it gonna be 11 or what?
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
I'm taking this picture off. I feel like we just sit here looking at this picture. Hey, hey, Dave, man. Listen, you got some other crazy pairings that you've had over the years, man. Tell me about your craziest pairing or the pairing that you wanted to work out the most.
Sorry, the fucking beasts just stormed in here.
That's fine.
Well, I have a blue male from Rico that I bred to a female I got from Christian Stewart from. She was from Crazy and Snowflake. A lot of people. She's dead now, but a lot of people really like that snake. She was high yellow, but then she had a lot of black along her dorsal, and the crown of her head was blue.
Mhm.
So that was a pretty cool clutch. That's the one that produced Blue Cocky.
Mhm.
And then Socrates got a male and 2 females from that clutch, and he bred a couple of those siblings together, and he got a really nice. I don't know if he knows what sex it is. It's what is it called?
That's the one with the black on his head.
Yeah, I think he calls it the fucking something, but I forget what he called it.
Okay.
Yeah, that was one of my.
It's called the manifester.
Yeah, the motherfucking manifester is what he called it.
Yeah, the manifester. Yeah, that's what it's called. That's what it's called. The manifest. I remember. Yeah.
That sounds like the name of some guru that a bunch of single moms listen to. The Manifesto. Oh, Dave, man. So
shout out to the single mothers that need direction.
I don't think they getting direction from the Manifesto. They probably just getting a bunch of lies and some pipe.
Crap for $1.
So yeah, they getting they what's that dude's name? Was it Darius Jackson? The dude with the buff dude.
Did you see that clip of Marvin Sapp telling his ushers not to let nobody leave?
Oh yeah. You talking about the dude that made the song Never Would Have Made It. He wanted 40K. Hey Dave, you ever been to a black church before?
There's a Baptist church across the street from me, but they closed down. It's for sale now.
Yeah, but you ever been to black church service where they try to hold you hostage and make you give them a bunch of money?
No, but I went to a Catholic school for a buckload of years, so
I feel like that's less pressure.
yeah.
I remember my mama used to go to this church.
It's the same thing, though. It's the same thing, Dave. They
I don't know,
take
bro.
money.
Black people was just. I feel like you be getting strong armed. Like my mama used to go to this church, and in order to become a member of the church, you had to give them your W-2 so they can see what your 10% supposed to really look like.
Oh, that's fucked up. Yeah, 10% is
Hey,
shitload.
It is a shitload.
You gonna pay for this? You gonna pay for this anointing, brother?
Yeah.
You ever been to a church that had an ATM in it? Be like, shit, we might as well go to the strip club.
I'm immediately leaving up out there if they got an ATM, rather.
Bro, I've been in a few churches that had ATMs in it. Al Green Church, his church had an ATM in it.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I used to pretend I was asleep so I wouldn't have to go to church. I'd put a comic book on the floor and just hang my head over the edge. Never worked. I hated church.
It made you get up and have to go to Sunday school.
I didn't have Sunday school, but I had to go to church.
I remember one time, man.
In the black church is like it's like an all day thing. It's like it's like a job. It's like 9, like 8:30 in the morning to like 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I used to have to go
especially
to
on the first Sunday day. On the first Sunday, it's like the pastor is like it's like for some reason the first Sunday the pastor always make the service go over for like an hour.
Yeah, because they waiting for the peach cobbler to get finished cooling down in the back. That's why he make you stay late. I remember back in the day, we used to have the tent revivals. And it's basically church in Mississippi with a bunch of different preachers coming through. And you're gonna be there all day in the Mississippi hit in the Mississippi tent. It's gonna be funky. You're gonna be tired. You're gonna see motherfuckers that look like scammers. That shit used to be whack as a motherfucker.
But you gonna catch the Holy Ghost though.
Yeah, my mama used to always catch the Holy Ghost. My grandma used to catch the Holy Ghost. She used to speak in tongues. I'm gonna tell y'all something fucked up, and I don't want y'all to judge me. But when I was a little boy, it was a Sunday, but the day before it, we went to Golden Corral, and I ate a bunch of mac and cheese, and I ate a bunch of the nacho cheese. And my dad was just like, you better stop eating all that shit. You gonna end up blocked up. I was like, man, I'm eating all this goddamn cheese, old nigga. I'm eating all this shit. So I ate it all. And then the next day I get to church. And my stomach started bubbling. And I go and try to use the bathroom. And ain't nothing come back. And then I go back to the bathroom because it kept bubbling. Ain't nothing come out. And I go back, and then like it felt like my stomach was going to rip open. And I fell out in the floor of the church and started screaming. First of all, everybody thought I had the Holy Ghost at first. They didn't think that I was really in pain. But I was really in pain. And they took me to the children's hospital, and they was just like, he's going to be okay. And then some big-ass dude come with a fucking enema, bro. They made me turn over on my stomach, and them motherfuckers gave me an enema up my butt, bro. Yeah.
Okay.
Church.
You probably could have kept that last part though.
Hey, bro, that's the truth, bro. How to get an enema, dog. Don't be eating all the cheese at Golden Corral when you're a little kid, man. Don't be eating it all. You got to get an enema, bro.
Let me write that down.
I ain't never heard nobody say they had their ass went in at church, brother. That's crazy.
Bro, listen, bro. My dog just died. We had to euthanize her today, but I had to give her an enema the other day.
Oh no, man, the Rottweiler?
Nah, the little dog, Duchess LaRue, the little one.
Okay.
She was half beagle, half mini poodle, but she couldn't poop. I had to give her an enema, man.
Well, that's
okay.
That's a circle of life. You use your experience for the better. You know, if you ever eat so much cheese and Travis is around, he's got you. He can help.
And that's actually really good. That's really good for Keno because Keno eats a lot of cheese, man. So
we'll go to Tinley. We'll get some of that fucking deep dish pizza.
You're definitely not gonna give me no enema, Dave. You know
yeah, we gonna get you an enema, Keno.
No, man.
Man, he's a good friend.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, bro.
And
you know that
doing
cheese.
That one, dog.
You know that cheese is probably, it's probably not the best quality of cheese. So because there's so much of it. So you could get blocked up, dog. But I got an enema for you. All you gotta do is tell me the scent of the enema you want.
What? We're not doing that one, brother. We're not going to discuss the enema sense, brother. You got to be
strawberry.
It's enema sense, my nigga. It's enema sense.
Cotton candy.
You want lemon? You want lemon, lime? You want lavender? You want fall apple pie? You want
We're not doing no enemas or no suppositories, brother. You're gonna do
yeah,
the old
bro.
fashioned.
We got you, dog. Don't worry, bro. We're not gonna look at your eyes, but we are gonna push it in real slow. We got you, dog.
Pause. Pause.
What size do you want, Keno? You want a big one or?
You want a big one or a little one?
I said pause, Dave. Don't entertain this fuckery, Dave.
Someone got different tips too, bro.
Time out, bro. Flag on the plate. Flag on the plate, bro.
Oh man, I love you, bro.
Stupid,
Speaking of, Chicago and Tinley, you going to Tinley this year?
Maybe. You guys?
I don't know.
I'm gonna come to Tinley. Yeah,
I'm gonna go to the big LA Expo. I guess what is it? Pomona.
Yeah,
the end
Pomona.
of June. Yeah, I think Brian and I are gonna go to that.
Okay.
I'm gonna try my best to get to Dallas this year. I want to hit the Dallas Expo
in September. I might go to that.
Yeah.
Go to Bill's.
Yeah.
I might go.
I was supposed to go last year. I got into had a car accident though. fuck my car up.
Travis, you're in San Antonio.
Yeah.
How far is that from Dallas? Would you fly?
Nah, it's like 4 hours. It wouldn't be worth driving. It wouldn't be worth flying.
Yeah, that's borderline.
Yeah, it's like 4.5 hours. I can do that drive.
Fly Spirit though.
What is the purpose of flying? And I'ma still need my car to get around Dallas, bro. Dallas, first of all, Dallas is big as fuck. Everybody's in different places, so you need a car.
Airports suck ass too. They have got to go through security and sit at the gate for an hour and all that. Yeah, I would drive.
Well, San Antonio Airport was really packed for a while, and they had to reroute a bunch of traffic and make new lines some mornings when I went through there because a bunch of the migrants that they were flying them out of San Antonio all over the country. Mm-hmm. I don't know what is going on with that situation now, but yeah, it was really difficult to get out of the San Antonio Airport for a while because I flew. Yeah, so I flew. This was last year in 2023. I hit Tinley. It was a problem. I came back. It was a problem. And then I went to Disneyland, Disney World. It was a problem. Came back. It was a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to Chicago back in September. It was a problem. So, yeah, I think they kind of fixed it, but it was a problem at some point in time. I'd rather just drive, especially for 4 hours. I can stop at Buc-ee's and buy a cowboy hat from Buc-ee's for Sal again. Buy a whole bunch of fucking beef jerky. You ever been to Buc-ee's, man?
No, but they opened one in Colorado.
Yeah, it's a big pointless ass gas station. People in Texas love them. But I will say this. As great as it is for a big ass truck stop, they ain't got no lot lizards, Dave.
Yeah.
And usually when you go to truck stops, you want to see lot lizards. They got no lot lizards. Now they got lots of candy. They got barbecue in there, cheeseburgers, lots of drinks, snacks, Buc-ee's nuggets, candied nuts, but they ain't got lot lizards in the back trying to sell it. They ain't got that, Dave.
I didn't know that was like when you go to Buc-ee's, like you go there for the lot lizards. I didn't know that was like a main attraction.
No, he's saying no. That's their downfall. They don't have them.
Yeah, they don't have it. They need it.
So where are some places that Travis, that you can get? They got the menu of lot lizards on display for you.
Every Flying J is a quality establishment that has those. Every Flying J. Is Dave making it up?
You're making notes?
It did like he was taking a note.
No, I know all about this. I work for a freight forwarder. I know
My
all
wife
about
wrote it in the chat room. She said, "Good." Every Flying J.
So so Dave, you were saying along Route 66, where all the main hot spots are.
I don't think that they made that commercial "Get Your Kicks" on Route 66.
Yeah, I think the middle of nowhere in Nebraska, Wyoming, Kansas, those are good spots.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I was a kid, like you would go because we moved like every 2 years, and like you would like see like the ladies around the trucks. Yeah, I think it was more prevalent in the 90s than it is now. But you would see them around the trucks. You would be like,
ladies around the truck, man.
I would always be like, what are they doing over there? Are they washing the trucks? What? They'd be like, yo, mind your business. Look over here. So don't worry about what they got going on over there. But yeah, man.
Damn well you was probably trying to get them to give them 100% back. That's another story.
At 7? At 7?
What's your system when you were in that 7, Travis?
Shut up, Keno. I was in Shelby County schools, so Memphis schools.
Memphis, okay.
Get out of here, Keno.
Go ahead.
Anyway.
Have you heard of Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles?
Yeah, what does that have to do with lot lizards though?
Oh, I know you guys talking about pimps. I went there like 20 years ago. I was visiting my buddy Pierre who lived in LA, and we went to Roscoe's. And I can't remember if I think it was going in and leaving. This black dude asked for $300 or $400. It seemed like a pretty good deal.
Well, he asked you what?
If I like Asians.
David, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I can see why he took that question to you, bro.
Hey, but look though, I ain't even know that Trevor's uncle lived in L.A. That's
Uncle did not live in LA.
Yeah.
crazy. Hey, he said he like Asians.
He's just like, that guy definitely looks like he likes
Oh,
Asians.
salad.
Well, maybe it was my friend he was targeting, but yeah,
Ain't it salad?
it didn't seem super safe. So
I don't think it's safe.
What's
dude.
going
I
on,
don't think that-
Miss Constante, aka
I
Miss
don't
Urban?
think
How you doing?
I don't think that anything like that is gonna be safe, man.
yeah.
Listen, we don't like talking about pimps. Keno
Yeah.
likes talking about pimps.
All right, let's talk about snakes. The people,
All right, let's talk about
the people want snake talk.
Pimps do wear snakeskin shoes, though. Go ahead.
Okay, we're not talking about that. All right, Dave. So this year you had 4 clutches. They were mostly small. What's the clutch sizes of all these snakes? Excuse me.
Let's see here. 14. Well, do you want me to count slugs?
No, just count viable eggs.
Just the viable eggs. 14, 11, 5, and 8.
14 and 11 aren't small though, Dave.
No. And the female that laid 11, she laid 11 good eggs, 1 slug, and
Nice.
she's little. I don't even think she's 700 grams. She's pretty small. It was interesting, though, because her eggs are really big compared to the first female. She laid smaller eggs, but she's a lot bigger female. So you never know.
You ever had a female lay clutch with uneven sized eggs, like some big, some small?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. You?
Yeah. Did you notice an effect? Did you notice anything, any difference from when they hatched? Like the smaller ones maybe soaked up most of the yolk or didn't, and compared to the other one?
No, to be honest. After they start denting, it's kind of hard to tell which are which.
Okay.
But no, I think they all absorbed all of their yolk. Yeah, some egg, the smaller ones can be more round, and then you get some that are the bigger ones that are more elongated.
Yeah, overlooking yolk.
Yeah.
You know what? I will say this is every egg that I had that I felt it was small, those always hatched.
Yeah.
Like the smaller ones always hatched. It's like the bigger ones where you'd be like, all right, well, this one is like not. This one is the one that seems like it's not going to make it. But the smaller ones generally seem like they just did better.
Mm-hmm.
How many
Yeah.
eggs, Dave, did you get from the? Go ahead, Dave. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying maybe it's just something that's going on over here.
Yeah, I don't know. I know with black-headed pythons, sometimes they'll hatch out and they're just engorged with yolk. Like they have an unnatural amount of yolk in them, and probably because the females are fat. So we probably have that going on to some degree with chondros. The females are over yolking the eggs or putting more nutrients in them than they would naturally have.
I always think that when you ever notice, like a day after the main one hatches, and you might get one that splits, and he's like breathing, and you see all the fucking bubbles around it. It's just bubbling up when it's breathing. I always think that too. Like, damn, did this animal get over yoked?
Oh, with the clear stuff, the amniotic fluid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that's different. That's just basically water, pretty much. I guess it's egg white. I don't know. I don't know what's in that stuff.
I don't know. I'm going to say this: the chondros, they smell terrible when they start hatching. That fucking chondro yolk, fucking amniotic fluid, that shit smells awful. It smells like piss. It smells like piss and hard work. It fucking stinks. And when those babies are young, when they first come out, like every day I try to go in there and clean that tub rigorously and replace the paper towels and the water. And I don't know, maybe it smells worse to me than everybody else. I just fucking hate that smell when they first start coming out.
Yeah, it doesn't smell good. They never smell good though.
Fuck, it smells gross.
You guys both use hot box incubators?
No. I have a Sea Serpents hot box, and I have one I built. And the one I built is basically like a big ass. You know when you go to the store and they have like the specialty drinks in a big cooler, like the
Snapple?
rocks. Yeah, like I have one of those. I took one of those. It's a standing one. It's like 7 feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
I've converted that one.
And you've used it and it worked well?
Yeah, I had 1 and 1. I had one clutch that went well, and I had one clutch that didn't. But the clutch that didn't, I think it was something going on with the mom. I think that it just didn't work out well. But
yeah,
the first clutch, man, I had 100% hatch rate. 100%.
You must have a lot of big gradients since that thing's so tall. You just dial it in right where you're putting the egg box?
Yep. So I have a part. So it's a portion of it where it's going to be a little warmer than the other portion by about 0.7 degrees.
Yeah.
But it works out pretty well. And I have 2 big fans that circulate the air. So even though there is a gradient, I have really good airflow in that, and I get to adjust it. So if I feel like it's getting too dry, I get to adjust it. If it's not, if it's stagnant, I get to adjust it. And I keep a big water pan in there. Mm-hmm. So it's plenty humid. The air is moving. I gas it, get some fresh air in there, and it's got a plug at the bottom where if you put your hand underneath it, you can feel where air is seeping out. So air is leaving it. And I know that there's fresh air coming from the top of it. So it works pretty well, man.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
Hey, do you, around day 40, do you wait, hold on. Try around day 40, do you bring your eggs down to the one that's like 0.7 degrees different?
No. And the only reason why I didn't do that is because it was only one in there. It was only one clutch in there. So if I got 2 clutches in there, then I'll probably do that. Okay. But if I don't, if I come up there for Tinley, we will build you an incubator.
You gonna build one?
I built this motherfucker. You think I can't build a second one?
No, I think you can. It's just when all the eggs fuck up, I want to blame you.
I don't give a fuck. Listen, you know how many people blame me for some shit, bro? We just had a conversation of people blaming me for some shit.
Did you use heat tape or heat cable?
I have heat tape, and I have a false wall made out of a piece of PVC board from when I made a rack.
Okay.
So I took along, and shout out to Randy Peegs. He put me onto this, and Tuck as well. Shout out my man Tuck, Mr. Skoldesack God himself. And I took a piece of PVC. I cut it so there is a gap that is about a foot, but I also have inside of, like, on the front of it, I put 2 computer fans that are adjustable on the top. So is pulling air from the top and pushing it down to the bottom where it hits the heat tape, and then circulates that way.
Okay.
Hey, Salad, what you using? Which ones did you using in the comments? Job, which
Yeah,
one?
what incubators are y'all using in the comments? Let us know.
I'm using
What you
Dave.
using,
I'm using the 20 for the 24 high the seat circles though.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been using a Forma scientific incubator, but I don't always have the best hatch rates with it. So I'm cooking my second clutch in a Sea Serpent's hot box right now. But there is a pretty big gradient from top to bottom because the heat blows out the bottom, so the bottom is warmer. So just I'd probably only put 2 clutches in it. It's a 36-inch tall incubator, but I use big egg boxes, so I wouldn't put them side by side. I'd have to put them on different shelves, but there's about a 1 degree difference. And
do you like big egg boxes? Because I really like big egg boxes.
Yeah,
I like bigger egg boxes.
Yeah, the Barkers wrote a paper on egg mass to air volume, and basically the takeaway is you want a decent amount of air in there for them. They used to incubate ball pythons in 5-gallon buckets, and the bucket would be 3/4 full of vermiculite. And then they'd set the whole clump of eggs on top of the vermiculite, and then they would just put a pane of glass over the bucket. And then they had a room about the size of my office, like a 12 by 12 room. And then they would just have these buckets all over the room. That's how they incubated. So they did a lot of research on egg box size and that sort of thing.
What kind of egg box do you roll with? And what size is the ones you use?
I have a 15-quart Sterilite, and then I got one of those half pans from Cambro, those half food pans. They're probably about the same size as a 15-quart. I really like the grids that Sims makes to keep eggs from rolling.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to do the suspended method, I'll use those. But those boxes are shaped kind of weird. I don't like how they're wider at the top than the bottom.
I agree.
They're kind of pretty tall too. It's kind of weird shape.
I actually think that is, helpful because you only need so much water in there, right?
Yeah.
So like with mine, like I use shelf pins, like the pins that you put in shelves so you can hold another piece of wood. I use those. And I use light deflector, and I put them in there that way. And I think it works pretty well, man. I was talking to Alan. Alan was telling me to use the little stuff that you line drawers with. I've used that stuff. That helps out a little bit to keep the eggs from rolling as well.
Yeah. Egg box wise, I use those eggs, the boxes from Walgreens. I forgot what they call it. I think they call Home Life or some shit. But they got these gaskets on them.
Yeah. I've used some boxes like that with gaskets.
I have no humidity problems escaping at all.
I'll be back. Hey, nice.
Do you put a hole in it, Kino? So it's
So they got these gaskets, this blue gasket all around, like around there.
Yeah.
And then I like from day one. So I got some eggs going cooking right now, and from day one I got one hole open. So there's 5 holes on each side, and then so the egg one side, the hole closest to the wall is open, and the other side is the furthest one is open. So I can get like a cross wind in there.
Yeah.
And I think that was from day one. I think like around day 30, I opened up a second hole. Then like 10. This is what I did with these eggs right here. Then like 10 days later, I opened up another hole, and then it was basically end up with out of the 10 holes, it was like 6 open.
And are you suspending them over water, or are you using vermiculite?
No,
No.
No, it's perlite. It's perlite is saturated in water. But
Okay, but they're not touching it. They're above it.
no. It's like two. It's like two light diffusers over it. So yeah.
Yeah.
This year, a couple of years, previous years, so my Cyclops clutch last year had a lot of animals coming out with the umbilicals tied around their body, and shit, I lost all 8 of them that came out like that.
That sucks.
And man, that was the worst shit ever, man. It was like one after another. It was just knots.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I think. I think honestly, what it was though, I think that maybe with this sea serpent, the dropping of the temps like around day 40 was probably not good because day 40 with these, man, I was like, forget it. I'm just gonna keep rolling. And throughout the whole process, I think the eggs read consistently between 86.9 and like 87.1.
Hmm.
And I was temp gunning the eggs each individually. And
I thought I heard you say maybe the eggs got too dry, so the babies weren't able to pip, and then they were thrashing around, and that's how they got all knotted up. Did the eggs seem dry, or am I making that up?
the Cyclops babies,
Yeah, the ones that were.
no, they
Yeah.
weren't dry because I incubated the same way like I did these. I think
Why would temperature cause that? Yeah, these snakes.
you're right. I was just brainstorming trying to see, but I honestly don't know because it wasn't like a situation where I kept where like halfway through I counted them or nothing and could have made them move around.
Yeah,
None of that. It wasn't. I kept them straight. I didn't rotate them when I was coming out, so
that's
I don't
bizarre
know.
to have that many.
It was 8, one after another. That shit was so depressing, man.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe I incubated them too cold or something. I don't know, Dave, man. You know how with this chondro shit, there's always something new with these snakes. So I can't put my finger on it.
We don't know very much about them when you think about it. We don't know why what works. And then when there's a problem, like people don't know what causes prolapses because you think it's from them being dehydrated or whatever. But some people keep them super humid, so it's not. It may play a role, but it's not the cause. There's all kinds of stuff like that.
And see, I never had a prolapse.
Yeah, I've only had 2, and one of them fixed itself.
I don't.
I've only had one. It was as an adult or a sub-adult.
Oh shit! I put my females in the shower and watch their whole ass come out all the time when they shit. But it was one female. I thought I was gonna have to put it back in.
Yeah.
Do you be
I
watching the ass come out? Do you be wearing a robe?
Hey, no, I'm an ass man. I can't help it. It's stupid, man.
Is there
Hey,
enema,
but no.
mama?
I have in the shower, right? And I ran back up here to start trying to make the sugar water and stuff. And by the time, bro, I went back in there and checked on her, and it had went back in. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
She got the magic, cloaca.
She got that snapback.
Hey, slid right back up in there, brother.
Snap that pussy back. Is that what she doing over there? She doing the mic ups?
Look, I went in there and it was back in. You know what I'm saying? So she did a
She
magic
was
trick.
back in there. I bet you when you went in there, you got back in there.
So you have a clutch incubating keynote? Is that? Do you have anything else going on?
No, Dave. I don't think I could do. Look, if you told me like I could do 4, I get 4 eggs, then I do like 4 clutches. But I don't think these numbers I've been getting what? I got 16, 17, and then I think 16 and then 18 right now. I'm good, Dave. If I get 4 clutches and it's like 18 eggs, all this shit gonna be great right here. All this shit. It's gonna be white.
Yeah,
I already got a couple of them that my son gave me. I ain't trying to speed it up,
So what's your clutch? Is it Cyclops?
No, this year it is the Artifact. It is Sarong Artifact to Sarong Artifact and blue Cyclops.
Okay. So both parents red?
Yep. Yep. And it was all the babies were bred the first time. I think all babies only read the second time. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the male or the female. I know the male has been bred to two different females, and he produced all reds both times.
When are you gonna breed Jamaica?
I'm gonna breed Jamaica this fall. So she just turned. She'll be 5 in June. June 12th. June 12th.
Okay.
She turns 5.
You have a good male lined up for her?
Oh, what you mean by good?
I don't know. Hopefully you got
You know what
something.
you mean?
She's a pretty nice snake.
Well, look, the male I have don't look shit like her. Because I didn't know that she was gonna be black, Dave. I honestly didn't plan on her returning all that black.
Yeah.
When I got her, I had planned on her getting like a fair amount of yellow because that's what that line is known for. But man, I sent John Leckie some pictures the other day. Maybe not the other day. Maybe about a month ago, and he's like, "That's the darkest female that he's ever produced. The darkest animal that he's ever produced." So I've been rethinking it because it's like, do I want to get a dark male to go with her, or the Maroke Biak, which was a red male? He was like a chocolate baby. And he got a nice amount of yellow on him. He kind of like he looks like that Sarong Biak I showed you early on. But I don't know now. It's like, do I want to put Travis Mill, the one with the more yellow, because that's what she has in her background, or I don't know, Dave. She gonna go to something this fall though.
Do you think she gained black after her initial color change? Because you'll see people on the forums and they'll post this snake with the 2 black scales, and they're like, it's gaining all this black, and once they have green, the green doesn't turn black unless you're talking about an old ass Biak. But it almost looks like some of these snakes that were yellow as babies do gain black. Did you see
yellow?
That?
She's gaining a lot more black, and what I would tell you is where the yellow was is black.
Yeah.
So she's always been, it's like the first 2/3 of her body is where most of the black is concentrated. And then like the last third is it was always mostly green toward the tail. But what changed was the yellow part that was on the first 2/3 of her body. It was she was a yellow Neo.
Yeah.
The yellow part went black as hell. And it was strange because, usually from yellow babies that are blaze Neos, you don't usually get nothing from the blaze.
Mm-hmm.
Well, where all the blaze was where all the black is on her.
Oh, that's cool.
So I don't know if that's a black pearl thing, like line specific with that or not. But he said that was the first one like that. So if you look at her dad, she looks nothing like her dad. Her dad is completely yellow.
Yeah, I was looking at his site the other day. It looked like he had a sibling that was even more black. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Is that a male?
Yeah.
Did he sell that one?
No, he kept it. I think he wanted $15,000 for it as the Neo, and everybody was like, "No," something like that, something crazy. Okay. But I think he knew he had with that one.
Well, yeah, you can see. I don't know if they're yearling pictures, but you can tell yours.
Yeah, it was a red Neo, right?
I think it was yellow. Maybe I'm mistaken.
No, he got a red Neo that's from the same clutch as mine, and that thing was dark as fuck.
Yeah,
I think it kept most of the dark. He always posted when, like, if it's like a Black Friday post, he'll post it.
Okay.
But honestly, I don't know, Dave, because she threw me for a loop, man. Now she has black on her side. I mean, blue on her sides.
Yeah.
And I don't know where the hell that's coming from.
I think that she might. Okay, so with yellows, it seemed like they changed quicker, right? But she just might be that yellow that everybody's been waiting to see, man. She just might be doing some different shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
just
it's
let
like
it
every
ride
now
out,
and
man.
then, it seemed like, and that was like his fourth time making that pairing, and it seemed like when with the designers, Dave and Trav, but specifically Dave, because you did one of these too, where you had the animal Amaterasu. What's his name? That got it. What's their name? That got it.
Victor Guzman, something like
Victor
that.
Guzman. And so it's a damn completely yellow animal. She looked damn near like that the female that I showed earlier.
Yeah.
But she's like yellow and all purple, and she came from a blue or two blue animals.
Yeah.
It seems like that was only one time that you did that pairing, right?
Yeah.
So it seems like, I don't know, man. Somewhere along those, that when you playing with those genes, somewhere you'll get a anomaly. It seems like out of whether it's a yellow parent or a blue concentrated or a calico, whatever it is. It seems like if you do those enough, or somewhere along their lines, you're going to get an anomaly somewhere.
Yeah, there's a bunch of shit mixed in them, so we could pop up.
Yeah, I know you was kicking yourself. I know you was kicking yourself when you saw her.
Yeah, and I could, because I hold everything back until it's pretty far into exchange, so we could kind of tell, and I had a feeling, but not 100%. So I sold her because in my mind that was a blue pairing, so I wanted to keep the bluest one.
Yeah, and you saw that as a yearling. Even at a yearling, you can. Honestly, the female that I traded her because I thought she was a male, and I wanted her to be like my powerhouse male with the artifact stuff in. So I got her 16 months, and then I say about 6 months later, I'm waiting for plugs. Plugs never happened, and she started turning blue, and she getting all this blue, and I was like, what the fuck? So a lot of times, man, it's like you be waiting for things from these animals, and they just never happen. And a lot of things too is people put a lot of stock in the males, but the females get overlooked. You get the anomaly females too sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey Dave, man, I ask you a question, man. So you don't produce many yellows. How many yellows have you produced in the last 5 years?
I've only had one clutch with yellows, and I was trying to breed an albino. So I had a female that Rico produced that was a 50% possible het, and she was mostly Maruki, so she was yellow. And then I bred her to a male I got from Marshall that was from Versace, and Versace is not red dominant, so that was the only clutch. I think I'd have a hard time producing yellows. John's never produced a yellow. If you get the crazy looking shit that was dark red as a baby, most of those are going to be red dominant.
Yeah, you just produce variations of red.
Yeah.
You know what's wild is seeing some of the red babies I've had red babies that gone through the entire process of OCC and end up being a lighter shade of green than some of the yellows that have gone through OCC and end up having a darker shade of green.
Yeah.
And also seeing some of the red ones go and have more yellow on them than some of the yellow ones they go and they have no yellow. This is odd. It's always been odd to me just to see how it plays out.
Yeah, it's counterintuitive.
Yeah, this is weird. And then
So
once
Dave,
you get, you know less, but once you get more, you're just like, I really don't. I really know less now that I've had more and seen more. I feel like I know less.
Yeah.
Keep you on your toes, man.
Keith, I thought you was asking a question, man.
I was. I just forgot what I was about to ask.
What you been over there doing, brother? You need to take you some ginkgo or something. Drink you some apple juice.
That brown kicked in.
Oh shit,
I'm
I'm on
sweating.
brown too, bro. Hey Dave, what you over there drinking?
Fucking water.
No, come on, Dave.
Yeah.
You gotta have some brown, Dave.
Yeah, it's
Drink brown?
Keno took a big ass swig. Right before he
Keno
kicked
drinks
off.
it out of the bottle. Listen, don't be looking down and waving, bro. You remember when we thought you like passed out? Don't do that again.
When? Me?
I was like, hell no, you better wake your ass up.
What you talking about, me?
Yeah, you.
No, I'm good. I was just on Dave D website.
Okay, all right. I was just like, what the fuck's going on? I was like, better not be having it again.
Yeah,
but he got some. If you go to his website, it's like a fucking library.
I know it is. I've seen it before. Every time I look at Dave D's website, I'm just like, damn.
I say I go on his website.
I'm gonna have to pull the trigger on a
3 times
Dave
a
D
month,
animal at some point.
I go on there like 3 times a month just to look around, bro. Just look.
Like every time I see Dave D's website, I'm just like, bro, you're gonna have to do it. You're gonna have to do it.
Yeah, it's kind of fun building shit like that, and I learned about photography because of chondros and.
But this animal, the third female on here, it looked like a fucking root. It looked like a hormonal root. Until you.
How many times, Dave? How long have you been working on websites, man?
I'm not technical at all. Yeah. This is my only website. It's pretty easy. I use Squarespace.
Mm-hmm.
I started out trying to use can't remember what it's called, WordPress. Because for a while WordPress, but you have to know how to program shit for WordPress.
Not as it's not as hard as you think it is.
All right. Well, Squarespace is easy. You just have to get it.
Do you remember websites in the 90s where they were not really functional and they just had pictures? It was just pictures. You click on the pictures, it makes it bigger.
Yeah.
I feel like somewhere there's a website out there with like naked midgets on it that Keno made. There's a website of naked midgets that Keno made out there somewhere.
It's on the dark web.
It's probably. I feel like the
record show.
I feel like the font is like green angel fire.
Let the record show.
Like for the dudes.
I didn't say it.
Yeah. So Dave, man, I gotta ask you a question.
I ain't started off.
I gotta ask you a question about all around genetics, man. We always talk about this, me and Keno, just because we haven't seen it. If you wanted to make a crazy yellow a project full of yellow babies, where would you start and what would you try to end with? Because we always talk about, most of the designers being red babies because that's what a lot of people worked with. And the only person I know of with a yellow designer line is basically Black Pearl. It's some Glasser stuff.
Yeah.
So what would you start with?
Reds.
No,
Dave, that's not the question, Dave. That's not the question, Dave.
All right, so
I don't have any yellows. I don't like yellows.
All right, so let me be more specific then. When are you going to breed JEMS 1326 to SH 10060?
Yeah, that mail I got from Jason Stevens. What was that? It was a Kofi.
Yeah, Kofi
LPI bread or something. I don't have that mail anymore. He dislocated his jaw eating. I don't know if you've ever seen that in the forums. It It happens on occasion.
I've seen it before.
Yeah, I think he broke his jaw eating. He hung in there for a while, but he died a while ago. I really do need to update my site. I have a shitload of snakes that aren't on there, and then there are a bunch that are on there that are dead. So
Okay.
Be a project after I move.
Damn. That was the closest I think I was gonna get to getting a yellow Neo.
Yeah, that one might have produced yellows. It was a red baby though.
This F2, the 2020 F2 Arubiak that you got, that was a male. Where'd you get that from? Because I see you don't have a breeder's ID on it.
I got it from Rob Stone. If you ever heard of him, he got it. He got it from Ryan Burke. It was a Bushmaster import.
Okay.
Shout out to Ryan Burke.
That was the F2. Goddamn.
Yeah, the F2 Rubiak.
Yeah. It's something about them F2 reds.
Yeah, it was purplish. It was wine colored.
Yeah, that's fire.
Yeah, it was a cool baby. That's the one I bred the first tiger stripe clutch for the first clutch.
You have any of his offspring?
Yeah, I got clutches from 2 of his daughters this year. Those 2 of the 4 clutches are from his daughters. One of them was that yellow female you pulled up before, breeding with the blue male. That was from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's his daughter.
Okay. So this is grandchild in the picture. The last one post.
All right, Dave, man, you produce a lot of stuff over the years, man. What is some of the stuff that you're looking forward to producing? Because you're heavy into the calico, heavy in the blue line, heavy into some of the other designer stuff. But we talked earlier about the bloodlines being diluted. So what are your goals now at this point in time?
Probably more calicos, but different types of calicos, bluer calicos that are mostly black, calicos that are mostly yellow. Because I've produced a lot of blue snakes, and people really like blue snakes, but it's cool to make new stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what new type of stuff you want to make?
Well, there's a male, I don't know if he's still alive, in Europe called Polaris. I don't know if you've ever seen him. He was a blue calico. He was badass, so something like that.
Okay. I know you're talking about.
Yeah. If you go to the MVF on Facebook and search for Polaris, I'm sure a picture will come up.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I have some orangish snakes that I like to breed together. I have a snake that turned 3 on January 6th. So he's 3 1/4 years old. And he is, I don't know if I'd say he's red, but compared to every other Chondro I've seen, he's red and black. And I don't think his head is mostly yellow, but he doesn't have a single green scale on him, and he's big enough to breed. So just make weird shit like that.
Wow.
Dave, I gotta talk to you about these orange Chondros.
Is he posted on your Instagram?
Yeah, there's an old picture of him, and there's a old picture of the one that's kind of orange. So the orange. Let's see here. The one I posted on May 5th, 2024. She's pretty orange still. And the real weird one I'm talking about, I last posted him. It's been a long time, but he looks the same. August 14th, 2023.
You said May 5th, 2024 on the first one?
Yeah. I'll get an update picture of her, but she's not yellow. She's not necessarily pumpkin orange, but she's compared to.
Okay. So I just noticed something. That's the same female that. So it was that. Is that a sibling to the last animal that you just posted? Like Clutchmate,
The last one, they're half sibs. The
the
one that's
half
all the
sibs.
blue.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I'm talking about the mother. I'm talking about the mother.
The mother.
Yeah. It one SH10060. They got the same mother.
No, the blue one,
No, the yellow one.
the yellow one, the one that was breeding.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're half sibs.
Okay. So, do a lot of her offspring throw this orange look or keep this orange look? Are you noticing that from her?
Yeah, because
Nice.
that's how she changed.
Nice. How long did she hold her orange?
Till 4 or so. But I think some of her offspring might hold it longer. And then the male that I'm talking about, he's unrelated to her. The one I
What'd you say? What date? Would you say he was? Did you say he was posted?
August 14th, 2023.
Okay.
I just looked at your website, Dave. Like whatever you have up here, like you have actually nothing available, so everything's sold out pretty fast, right?
Yeah, well, I didn't produce many chondros in 2023. I only hatched 9,
Nice.
and I'm keeping 4 or 5, and so I just sell them here and there. So it just depends on how many I hatch.
Okay.
But Rico was really my inspiration for the website because I used to obsess over his website because everybody wants to know how to pick a baby. So it was cool to have his website and you'd see all the babies, and then he didn't keep all of them like I do, but he'd keep a handful of holdbacks, and you could say, okay, well that turned into that, and
Yeah.
it was pretty cool.
Yeah. He had a category for anything you wanted.
Yeah. Blue, high yellow, melanistic, and then he had all the localities.
Locality specific stuff.
Yeah, it's a shame his website's all corrupt now.
Well, I mean, it probably hasn't been in use in a decade, man.
Yeah,
You gotta go through Web Archive to go look for it.
Yeah, but a lot of the images don't work.
Yeah.
Some of them work.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta think about it. Like when I came into Chondros, I got my first Chondro in 2015. They were still. Oh, that's my wife. It was basically just like people were mourning for Rico when I came in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's 2015. I think of all the things that's happened as in terms of technology since 2015. Like I remember I bought my first snake, my first chondro off of King Snake, maybe. Yeah, King Snake classifies like that shit's dead. And I remember back when I used to go to the MVF off of Tapatalk. That shit's dead. And I'm just gonna say this: get Tap Talk. Stop using Tapatalk. You might have to let that shit go, but you need to stop using it.
What's wrong with Tapatalk?
Don't ask no questions. Just stop using it.
Yeah, he didn't know about Nido either. We found out about Nido in 2017.
Yeah. So like we think about all this stuff technology wise, hobby wise, and it's just like
Nameless, what's up? What's up?
That was a long time ago once we really think about it.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't really like until we just said this, like I got my first Chondro 10 years ago, over 10 years ago. It's like, fuck, bro, that was a long ass time ago. But we just gotta think about it like that, like everything's changed, man. It's been a long time, and that also lends credence to Rico's legacy. Because we still talk about Rico. There's some people that we still gonna be talking about, probably 10 years from now. And I also feel like this, like that just shows you how important some people are, probably how unimportant some people are. that they didn't make that cut. So let's pour out one for Rico, man.
Yeah, I didn't know him super well. I talked to him a few times. I got a bunch of snakes from him, but he was always a very positive person. He was willing to help. Yeah. He didn't pick sides on the designer versus locality nonsense. He liked it all.
Yeah, he's better. He's a better person than you are.
Yeah. Well, I like localities too.
I'm messing with you, Dave. I love it.
Yeah, I think the way he did it was right. Have a bit of everything.
Yeah. I can tell, Dave. It's just so many different localities on your page.
So many locality adventures.
I have 120 something chondros, maybe maybe more with babies, and I don't have a single locality snake, but I like them.
You want to know something, Dave? I tell people I have 60 snakes in my garage currently, and they're just like, "Oh my god, why so many? Are you okay? Are you a hoarder?" I'm just like, no, just have.
Well, yes, you are a hoarder.
I'm not a hoarder.
You're not okay.
It's snake farming. We're farmers.
We are farmers. Dun, 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 dun. I think that when it comes to having this many snakes, man, like I remember when I first came into it, it was people be like, I have, this many snakes and that many snakes. I'm just like, that's cool. And then I just think you just kind of you just get okay with your life and your garage being full of snakes. But you want to know something crazy? My baby, one thing about it that's crazy about it is it doesn't really bother me like at all. Like I don't think about it. And I spend less time with snakes than I used to. I spend a lot less time with snakes.
What do you mean? Because you used to have snakes that were more high maintenance? Different species?
I think I thought they were more high maintenance. I think that's what I thought. Like I think
Chondros
I think I was being a bugaboo. I think I was being a bugaboo back in the day.
Yeah.
And like now that I guess.
Were you spraying them all the time?
Now I think I was like talking to them, like, pressing my eyeballs against the glass. I was back in that day, man, I used to like
tickling their cloacas.
Nah, I never did that. But I used to like listen to a bunch of like 90s R&B. So I would be doing the belly roll in front of them. Because I thought that's what they wanted to see. I thought they wanted to see me dance like Genuine.
Can you show us real quick? I don't know what you're talking about.
I've done it before. I'm gonna do it again. I've done it before on camera. We're not gonna do that again.
Is that where you put your hands above your knees and you do something?
Bro, I did the Chris Brown belly roll.
We're not about to do that. We're not about to do that again, brother.
Back when I was younger, it was a belly roll, but now that I'm 37, it's definitely the jelly roll. Yeah, man. Yeah. I used to mess with the snakes a lot, man. I'm cool, Deli. But I think that as you get more snakes, you figure out how to streamline things, and you mess with them less.
Yeah, puppy pads, disposable water bowls. I don't miss my snakes.
I barely missed them.
Yeah, I feed them rats now, so I don't have to feed them as often. There are ways to make them low maintenance.
Yeah. Plus, I think that they
only rats
don't want to be fucked with.
Yeah, only rats for females. Yeah, for a while I was just feeding mice because people said that was better for him. But in hindsight, it doesn't make sense. An adult mouse, if you're not talking about a jumbo mouse, adult mice are tiny. So if you have a female that's 800 grams, it's like the size of her head. They're not eating those in the wild. It's not worth their time. I'm sure they wouldn't pass them up, but
shit, them adult mice that's something that you can get like a 2-year-old female.
yeah. Yeah, and I know people were against rats, but because Greg Maxwell and other people grew big old fat snakes because they're feeding rats, but you just don't feed them every week. You feed them every 3 weeks or every 4 weeks, and then you're good.
Yeah. I got one female that I've been waiting for to get to size to breed. I think it might actually finally happen. I definitely think she's old enough, but I think it might actually finally happen. But I think that with the adults, man, like they do better with getting fed less and bigger meals.
Yeah.
I
It also seems people are worried about prolapse with rats, but it seems like if you feed them a small prey item, they don't really bother trying to shit. But if you give them something big, then they have the urge, and then they shit it out. I think the small ones are almost worse.
Yeah, I do believe that too. I think that because I've only had one prolapse, and it came from giving a rat and then another rat in a week.
Yeah.
But that was the only prolapse that I really had. I had one animal that I guess you could kind of call it a prolapse, but this animal, it had this intestinal issue where it would take super long to shit.
Yeah.
And then one day it just pushed out its entire intestines, like everything. It pushed it out, and I was like, "Well, I was like, oh well, I guess this is what I expected for it to go like this, because I knew that it had a knot in the stomach somewhere. She definitely shitted her entire guts out, and she was like that since a baby. Because I got her as a neo, she was like that. So yeah. But for the most part, man, I think that feeding bigger prey items to a healthy chondro, is definitely the way to go. And who else told me that? What's my man from Indiana? My mentor. He told me.
Thaddeus?
Huh?
Thaddeus?
Yeah, Sauls. Yeah, Sauls. Thaddeus Sauls told me that. Shout out to Thaddeus. He was basically telling me that, and I appreciate that piece of advice he gave me back then.
Where do you guys get your rodents from? Do you order them or get them locally?
I get some of them from Cold Blooded Cafe, and I get some of them locally from my man at Little Shop of Horrors, Lewis. He's San Antonio based, but he works throughout Austin and somewhere else. He's a good guy. Him and his lady. So I work through him too. But yeah,
I get my feed.
Those are the people I mess with.
I get my rats local from this shop. Shit is very much similar to what Travis got going on. Just it's called Curious Creatures. It's just a married couple owned store.
Are they frozen or alive?
No, they frozen.
Okay.
But they sort of like they basically it's like a farm in some people in Wisconsin who breeds them.
Mm-hmm.
And they basically get them frozen like fresh cure every week. So when I get them, they super clean. Honestly, it don't even look like they've been frozen for that long. They super clean.
Yeah.
I've never had nothing with like frostbite on it or none of that. And then they let me get them for bulk orders. So I would honestly say, man, it's clean as hell. I open the rats, I don't smell nothing. I don't even get rat pebbles and shit. None of that. I ain't never had a deformed rat from them. A rat with only 3 legs. None of that at all.
Yeah, I've ordered some rats from a supplier, and they looked clean, but they smelled rotten. And I've had that
Yeah.
happen a few times from that supplier, and my friends use the same supplier, and they're like, I haven't noticed anything. And none of us had any problems, but they smell rotten.
I
That's the
talked
first
to
thing I do. I open the bag and I smell the bag. If I can
smell it.
smell anything, because sometimes you'll smell urine too. You'll still
Yeah.
smell the urine on them still.
Now, like with Little Shop of Horrors, a lot of mine I get them alive and I kill them myself,
Mm-hmm.
and then I freeze them. But for the other ones, man, if I get that animal, that feeder, and it's packaged and it smells like it smells like ammonia. On
Yeah.
one end, it could be piss, but the other end could be the precursors of decomposition.
Or
Like
that's
that
what-
animal had been sitting there for a while before they froze it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what I worry about. So I've seen it from different suppliers, and I've used different people to get. I'm not gonna say who was the best and who was the worst,
Yeah.
but I will say this: like, if I get rodents in and there's something wrong with them, I definitely let them know, the supplier know. But one person I haven't had an issue with at all with a rodent was Lewis from Little Shop of Horrors, and I could go to Lewis's shop. Lewis has let me go to the shop so I can see the rodents that he's packaging up. He'll give me my rodents in my own box and whatever. And I think that that's a different experience. And it's just like we shout out to Cold Blooded Cafe because I've gotten rodents for them too. But I think that in certain instances, with a lot of people, they just want to be able to go touch a rodent that they're getting. Like they want to see that it was alive, and they want to euthanize it themselves and package it how they want to package it, so they don't have to worry about, this rodent being too old or whatever, or decomposing, or the rodents that are already decomposing that smell like tuna lids and shit. Like, because I've heard that before, I've seen it before. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking about trying to breed soft furs after I move. I tried it once. I had a problem with the females eating their babies, so I had a hard time getting them to adulthood.
Damn.
The females would eat the babies.
Yeah.
Well, I know a lot of rodents do that when they got like sick babies, or they think like the babies are deformed, or they'll do that when they smell a human sitting on them, they'll eat them.
Yeah, I read that because I tried to figure out what it was. If their protein is too low, they might do that.
Yeah.
But I had an old shitty ultrasound, and I sold it to a local guy.
Hey, you want to get scarred? Look, we had a baby. We when I was a kid, we was about 10. I was about 9 or 10. We bought a guinea pig that was a female, not a guinea pig, a hamster.
Yeah.
And we didn't know it was pregnant. We got home like 2 days later. We had about 12 babies up in there, and we touched one. And man, she went over there and smelled it. Next thing you know, was we was like, "Oh, what's going on?" Yeah, she went to town. It was over with real fast.
Yeah, I think that would fuck you up as a kid, because that's pretty nasty.
Hey,
I got a hamster story. My homeboy Eddie, his sister, her name was Evelyn. We call her Evie. And she had a hamster, and she he came to me the next day. He was like, "Yo, my dad took Evie's hamster." I was just like, "Why?" He was like, "Well, when we took the dog to the vet, they had to check the dog's temperature and put the thermometer up his ass." And he said that she went and found a thermometer and put the thermometer up the hamster's ass, and when it showed it to her dad, and like her dad, the first thing he did was just like snatch it out of her hand.
wow. That's crazy.
So-
I don't know what y'all be doing down there in Memphis, brother.
Boy, there's been a lot of ass talk in this episode.
That wasn't in Memphis. That was definitely when I was in Colorado. That was definitely when I was living in Colorado Springs.
That's what they
Yep.
eat down there.
They eat ass. I don't know. Dave's from Colorado. I don't know if they eat ass, but yeah. Evelyn
I'm not from
definitely-
Colorado Springs, though. It's different. It's different.
It's different. You know what's wild about Colorado is don't let these people in Colorado tell you this. The cities is normal, but it's a lot of fucking weird cult activities in these rural areas of Colorado because can't nobody get to them to do anything about what the fuck they doing over there anyway. Yeah, he shakes his head like, yeah, that's true.
So what, like,
I'm telling
you talking about like Children of the Corn Coat?
Nah, bro, it's just like weird religious cults, like a bunch of Christian cults. Like they get like a plot of land, and like it's difficult to get over there. So like whatever it is that they be doing, you're not gonna know about it until it's too late. It's not like you're gonna be interacting with them anyway. That's why they live there.
Oh, Dave, you part of a Colorado polygamous sect over there?
Just have the one wife.
Okay. Okay, cool.
I'm trying to get a second one, but she's not into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good luck, though.
I don't know.
Good luck, though.
Yeah, I said she'd still be my number one, but
I think the idea of having two wives sounds horrible.
yeah, really.
Two women expecting you to take them out, and two women that are just like, well, you did this shit for the last woman. What about me? Like, I can't be doing that every day in the kitchen while they looking at me and be like, well, whose sweet potato casserole do you like the best? Like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah, you got to be really careful when you pick them. You got to get the right.
Tell
one.
her,
You
hey,
gotta be
tell,
fit.
tell her both of them.
No, that's not. That don't, bro. Listen, that don't work. That don't work. Be like, who enchiladas you like best? Mine or hers? Well, mine are red and mine are green. Like, what does it matter? I like both enchiladas. Well, you gotta pick.
Hey, I'm gonna go with the green ones.
I like it. My wife makes some pretty good green enchiladas, man.
So there
She
you go.
don't really make
You
well.
gotta pick the wife. She's a keeper, brother.
Ah, man, she's pretty good. Listen, I tell you what, bro. One thing my wife makes that's pretty good is I taught her how to make it. I used to make this thing called tater tot casserole. It's definitely a trailer park meal, but I taught her how to make it, and she does it pretty good, bro.
We're definitely
Tina's
not
not
eating
into it.
tater tot casserole.
It doesn't sound very healthy. Is there a bunch of cheese in it?
It is a bunch. It's a whole layer of cheddar cheese.
Yeah. I'm trying to get another enema. It sounds like.
Hey, Enema Travis. I'm gonna start thinking that you like these Enema Travis, man. You get so much, bro.
He's feeling nostalgic. He wants to.
What are you talking about? I told you one story about an enema. That happened one time. I never had to get another one. I remember when they took me to the same hospital on my 7th birthday. You know those little rings that you get out of the vending machines, like for a quarter, 50 cents?
Yeah.
I took one of the jewels, and it was a girl. This was my girlfriend in the 1st grade. Her name was Jessica Jocelyn. And I was trying to impress her, and I flipped that bitch in the air like a fucking fake-ass magician, and I caught that motherfucker in my ear, and that motherfucker went all the way down and got stuck. And they had to take me back to the same place, and it was just like,
You got a flashback?
okay.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, they was all
Yeah.
just like, we don't want to deal with this little motherfucker again.
Oh, so it was like the same people that saw you?
Yeah.
Mm.
Different hole, same problem.
Yo, I remember they tried to hold me down.
Hey, he said I need another enema, but this time it's a brain enema.
Yo,
Ear enema.
they brought the same big dude in who had the enema the first time to try to hold me down while they tried to get it out. And I saw that motherfucker. I was just like, you ain't about to get me again, motherfucker. And I fucking started bucking like a motherfucker.
Hey, you just walked into this conversation like 10 seconds ago. I'm sorry for you.
Yo, bro, this motherfucker walked into this motherfucking hospital room the same way that the fucking Kane used to walk into the ring. I was just like, nah, nigga, you not getting me. So he was trying to hold me down.
Don't tell nobody else that was the big dude holding you down, give you an enema, brother.
He didn't hold me down for the enema. They didn't hold me down. They held me down to try to get that fucking jewel out of my ear, though.
Bro, they didn't need to hold you down for the enema?
Bro, listen, I was fucking 7. I didn't know what the fuck it was, bro. They just told me it's a fucking enema. What you want me to do? You want me to do a full-scale riot? I didn't fucking know. So he came in and tried to pull the fucking.
I just want to know that you at least fight. You fought it or something, brother.
No, I didn't fucking know.
Did you clinch?
I really didn't.
Did
what?
you?
I don't remember. I was
laid
6.
down there and took it. He just laid down and
I
took
was
it,
6 years old, man. I was literally 6. I don't remember.
Was the girl impressed when you got the jewel stuck in your ear? Did that work?
Yeah.
She stayed my girlfriend.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. But they couldn't take it out because they were just like, he's moving around too much. So I had to go get actual surgery to have it removed. So,
wow.
Yeah. What happens when you got a dumbass son?
So,
and unfortunately for me, I got a dumbass son too.
So what's the chance of you flipping the snowing up in it? Wait,
it's not hot. It's not hot.
What's the chances of you doing that and the stone getting stuck in your ear canal, brother?
The likelihood of it, I don't know. It's probably pretty low. I'm just pretty fucking dumb sometimes. Yeah.
Wow.
Sounds like you're unlucky.
No, I don't think it's unlucky, bro. Like, I've done some dumbass shit and suffered the consequences for it on multiple occasions.
What is something else that you done, brother? That's stupid.
I remember one time I skipped school and didn't leave my neighborhood. And I skipped school, and my his brother had a car, and I was like 13 at the time. And like this motherfucker, you remember that song? You remember do you remember when G-Dep released his first album? He had that CD and he was playing it out the car, and I'm fucking sitting there eating chicken wings, dancing, trying to Harlem Shake and shit while eating chicken wings. Then my mama pull up, chase me around the whole fucking neighborhood and beat my motherfucking ass. She tried to hit me with a Grand Am and shit. I thought that I was gonna be lucky and she wasn't gonna find out about that.
She tried to run you over?
Yeah, she tried to run me over, bro. she tried to clip me. What's some other shit I did? I did a bunch of wild ass shit. I don't know, bro.
Hey, what's some wild shit you did when you was still like a little adolescent, a little youth, running around here and being a little bad serial killer in the making?
I think we saw Jackass or something like that, and they were spraying people with fire extinguishers. So we did that. There's a mountain near Denver called Lookout Mountain. People go park up there and they make out. And we had already sprayed a few people who were just walking around on the sidewalk, but these people were making out. And we sprayed them. And then we got in a high-speed chase going up I-70 to the mountains.
So when you sprayed them, was it the water or was it the powder?
It was the powder.
That was wrong.
Yeah.
I got somebody with that in high school too, like on the last week, hitting with that powder. It was like,
yeah, it's kind of fucked up.
I'll tell you something I got caught doing, and I almost got arrested for it. Hey, Keena, you know that you ever been in the Hammond, Indiana?
Yeah, I wouldn't. That's where I usually go get the fireworks from.
You ever seen a big hospital that's off that main drag?
No, I'm not there. I'm not there for long. I don't be out. I think the
So
longest I've
my
been in Indiana was like about an hour.
my homeboy Boogie that you met, and my homeboy T-Birds and my homeboy Ramus, they was just like, yo, we should go and fucking shoot these hookers with the paintball guns. And I was already like pretty drunk when they said this shit. So in my mind, I thought that we were just gonna keep getting drunk and we weren't gonna shoot hookers with paintball. But we did in fact go shoot hookers with paintballs and got caught. And we shot a pimp. We shot a hooker while she was next to a pimp, and this motherfucking chasers with his full pimp regalia on. He fucking chased us.
How'd you get caught? He was fast.
Nah, the police caught because we were going the wrong way on a one-way.
Oh, the cops got you.
So we got caught that way. That's how we actually got caught.
So now, if I had told that story that you went out shooting a pimp trying to steal his hose from him, they wouldn't believe me. So I'm glad you said that.
I wasn't trying to steal his hose. I was just trying to shoot the prostitutes.
You call it what you want, brother.
I mean, you call it what you want, brother.
You went out there and shot that pimp trying to get them to look down on their pimp so they can choose.
Listen, I will say this. That motherfucker was high stepping, but he was fast.
That's crazy. You doing drive-bys on other pimps with paintballs.
Well, you got to be a pimp for it to be a other pimp. Like, that's not really how it worked out. Dave, we about to get out of here. You got anything else that you want to tell us before we get up out of here?
Well, I don't think so. I appreciate you having me on. Hopefully we can hang out at one of these upcoming shows.
Dave, we appreciate you for coming through and kicking it with us.
Yeah.
We Dave. We appreciate the time.
Yeah, we should get a group thing going sometime.
We should.
A couple of those other guys.
Yeah, we can go hang out behind Buc-ee's.
No, I'm talking about on your show. Get like you mentioned.
Yeah, you see we be on, Dave? You see we be on, Dave? I don't know why you want to go hang out behind the gas station.
Yeah, well, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna go to Flying J.
Hey, you want to do a Colorado Chaos episode? We can get Jason Stevens and we can get Ryan, and who else?
Ryan.
Who else
Ryan.
we got? Yeah.
Ryan.
Hey, listen, I'm down to get it going on. I thought I was going to do it a while ago, but I forgot. But I'm down to do it. I'll hit him up tomorrow.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. Yeah, we meet up every so often at a bar. It's been a while. Yeah, I like all those guys.
That's good. Every time somebody tell me that they meet up with other guys at the bar, I'm just like, man, I hope it's not like the Hateful Eight. I hope it's not like the Hateful Eight.
The Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
I'm not.
But anyway.
That. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I ain't seen that.
It's a long ass movie, Dave. It's a long ass fucking movie. It's a good movie, but it's a long fucking
Have you kicked it with James Oldall, Dave?
Yeah, Daytona. He's fun too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did he teach you how to get blottoed?
He was drunk.
I feel like Dave is like the kind of guy that's like at the bar being cool. He's having a few drinks, but like Oldall is like the type of dude to like get drunk and show his dick to the police.
No, Dave seemed like the dude. He can drink no matter what he drink. It's never gonna look like he's drunk.
Yeah. Until he stands up. Maybe until he stands up.
He's like, man, I'm just here chilling, man.
Yeah.
Oldall is pantsless on a cop's car.
Yeah. Yeah.
So He said, "Yeah."
He likes sake. There's a sushi restaurant down at Daytona, and the last 2 years I went to Daytona and hung out with those guys. It's a good time. You guys should come. I can't make it this year because of a wedding, but Daytona's a fun show.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Congratulations on the wedding, Dave.
It's not my wedding.
Oh.
That's my
I
step.
thought you had got that second wife in hand.
Nah,
Secure the bag.
one's good.
Okay, well, we appreciate you, Dave, for coming through.
Yeah.
We love you because this is like the third time you come on. This has been an honor to have you on 3 times.
Yeah,
We're
likewise.
glad that we got to talk about snakes more than bullshit.
It was 50-50. But there was some new bullshit, though. All the butt stuff was new versus
Yeah, like
less midget talk, more butt stuff.
we didn't. Well, this was the first time that Travis had unveiled he was a professional receiving enemas.
Yeah,
I was 6. I was 6 years old. I was 6 years old.
We didn't know that. He just sprang that on us. So you been getting enemas since you were 6.
No, I got 1 enema at 6. I got 1. I've only had.
You get that every couple years?
Nah, bro. Listen, after the pain in my stomach from eating all that cheese, bro, I definitely didn't double up on cheese after that shit. I learned my lesson. Plus, once you get grown, you don't need shit like enemas. You can just take a laxative and go shit it out.
You said, fuck it, you wouldn't have cut your balls off instead.
What the fuck are you talking about? Cut my balls off. What the fuck are you talking about?
that's not how that works, Keno.
What you talking?
This nigga nutless.
What is you talking about? How does balls and fucking enemas correlate
They say
to
you walk
each
around
other?
here looking like a newborn.
The fuck is you talking about? I have no clue what Gil's talking about.
You got the snippets. You got the.
I still got balls, Keno. What
They
the
don't
fuck
work
is
though,
you talking-
brother. They don't work.
They
though.
still work.
They just.
It's
there
not like
for
they
shit.
in there fucking
They like
dead.
it. They like a ornament, brother.
Nah, they're not like ornaments. They like a car that has a supercharger in it, but it's not connected.
No, it's like a car with no engine, brother.
No, it's like a car with an engine, bro.
No,
Listen,
brother.
balls they still got functions, bro. They just don't produce sperm.
They got said, brother. They dead.
No. Well, I still fuck. I still be out here fucking. So I guess so. I just not
your
making
balls.
babies.
Your balls be like, damn, we used to do that.
I got boneless loads out here.
Hey, it's like, damn, they just be sitting there reminiscing like we used to be a factor.
Yeah.
We used to be in the league putting up 30 and
Just
10.
like you.
You know what I'm saying?
You remember when we used to be a staffing agency?
Yeah.
They are no longer a staffing agency.
Hey,
They
they retired now, brother. They on the bench now.
Hey, they're not even on the bench, bro. I went and got checked, and they were just like, "Yep, you good to go. You're not about to produce."
They said we was good for a triple-double once upon a time, brother. A game.
Hey, bro. I remember one time, bro, I was taking this shit called 1-testosterone, and this was a test booster when I was in the Army, so it's a function like steroids almost. Bro, I shot a load across the room on that shit.
That's enough.
Come to find out, like 2 months, like a month later of me taking that shit, my wife was pregnant. I was just like, it makes sense. It fucking makes sense.
Brother.
Well, testosterone actually lowers your sperm count. Did you know that?
It might, but at the force that it was shooting out of my body, it was probably hitting the target.
You just need one.
Yeah, it was just like it took one and hit that egg real hard in there. When I saw that shit shoot across the room, I was just like, that's not good.
You was like, we ready now, huh? You was like, baby, okay, watch this. Watch this.
Bro, I saw that shit shooting across the room. I was like, bro, I need to put this dick in the Olympics.
And that has been Peyton in the Army with Travis. On that note,
We gonna get out of here, man.
You,
Y'all have a good night.
Yeah, you too, guys. Thanks.
We appreciate
Travis.
Dave for coming through. Peace
Travis
out, y'all.
Shout out to Travis Payne. Shout out to people who paid in the Army, brother.